Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. I'm your host, Natasha Leggero.
And I'm Jolton Joe DiMaggio, the famous baseball player who married Marilyn Monroe.
I'm actually now in the eating cookie dough phase of COVID.
Wait, when? I never saw this.
I've been hiding it from you.
Oh, you're hiding the dough. Damn.
I found some.
You're like a housewife. I love it. Eating bonbons, watching the soaps, chomping on cookie.
Life doesn't seem to matter.
What does eating cookie dough have to do with life not mattering?
Well, if life doesn't matter, why not have some cookie dough?
Oh, man. You should put that on a mug. If life doesn't matter, have some cookie dough. I'm feeling good myself. Got a job. That feels good. Got a new writing job.
That's exciting for you.
About to slide in. I won't tell you what it is yet till that ink's dry. But it's going to be nice to get back to work because I am feeling the pinch. Financial pinching. Because I need to buy new things for my RV.
Well, I guess I'll just watch the kid then.
Yeah, I guess you can go full housewife, actually. You got the cookie dough going. Now you can take it to that next level. You know,
I could do it.
That is the difficult thing about being in a relationship with a successful person. I've never been threatened by your success. In fact, it's the primary reason that I married you. But I will say that it's difficult when one of us gets busy because then the other one just has to kind of deal with everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, have fun. I'll be seeing you in 10 weeks. 10 weeks time. I got a 10-week gig coming up. We're headed off this week to the beautiful Mount Zion National Park, one of the most beautiful places in all of America. We're going to jump in the RV.
And if you're bored, Google the Narrows and you'll see the hiking path that Moshe wants to take me and my daughter on.
And that I am proposing that we take our toddler on. It is a dangerous hike with flash flooding. And I thought, what better place for a toddler than a hike through a river and on unsure footing that I will have her in a backpack. And if a flash flood comes, well, then I guess the writing job will evaporate. And so will my life. I'm excited to go, though. It's going to be good. I got a birthday coming up. I'm getting older. What can you say about life?
I mean, it doesn't matter anymore.
Eat that cookie dough. You got to eat the cookie dough. Wait, where did you even get cookie dough from?
Well, I found it.
You found cookie dough?
Yeah, like I had it from a while ago, but then I started
You're eating it raw?
Yeah.
Does it have eggs in it?
I don't know.
You can't eat cookie dough that isn't meant for eating raw.
Oh, really?
You'll get salmonella. And then I'll have to take care of the child.
I'm from the Midwest, and we just kind of eat expired dairy things.
Oh.
We have strong stomachs.
I'm Jewish, and we have the opposite of strong stomachs. We have strong stomach aches.
Wait, isn't eating cookie dough a thing?
Yeah, but they made cookie dough specifically so that you could eat it without getting salmonella poisoning.
It's like in the freezer in like a little tube, you know?
Is it Pillsbury?
No, it's something else.
Oh, okay. Is it chocolate chip?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, am I going to get salmonella?
I don't know. It remains to be seen.
All
you
right.
might get a double whammy COVID salmonella combo.
Okay, well, isn't our guest waiting for us in New York?
Yes, our guest is waiting for us. I don't believe he is in New York, but we are going to call a very funny man who's been on a mission lately. We're going to talk all about that mission.
Oh, and you can also see him on the show I'm doing right now on HGTV.
Speaking of busy and successful partners.
It's called Comedians on Couches, and me and some comedian friends, me and Dan Levy, we make fun of house hunters.
And Chris Red is one of the guests.
I think
He's
his episode's tonight.
Regular on SNL. Basically, Natasha, Dan Levy, and a comedian guest get together and make fun and roast episodes of House Hunters. It's a lot of fun, actually.
So last time I talked to Chris, we were on Zoom doing House Hunters, so I would like to check in with him now.
Let's check in with SNL's Chris Red, the very funny Chris Red.
Hello.
Chris.
Hi, Chris.
What's going on?
What's up, dude? How are you?
I'm good, man. You know, it's in Mississippi, surviving.
Yeah, you know what? When I asked you if you would do the podcast, you said I'm available anytime after 8 p.m. Central Time. And I thought, and I don't mean to be bigoted here, Chris, but I didn't know that you were allowed to be on SNL if you lived in Central Time. I thought that they would fire you from the cast immediately.
Yeah, see, this is what's crazy because I snuck out, and the fact that I'm doing this podcast and admitting that I left, that's how much I'm putting on the line for this shit.
Oh wow!
You know what I mean?
We appreciate that. I got very bad news for you. Lauren is a huge Endless Honeymoon podcast fan. He writes every week.
Yeah, it's crazy. I guess I'm just edgy. I'm an edgy guy. You know what I mean? I make edgy decisions. And
Wait, so Chris, are you with your family?
Yeah, I'm with my dad and my mom. It's a family, I think. And then my brother just got in yesterday.
Wait, where'd he come from?
Yo, honestly, no one knows.
So
he appears a little bit. Like, that's kind of his thing. He just kind of. He came from California, so he flew to Memphis and then drove down.
I like that you guys are in heavy quarantine, but you're introducing a possible weak link by allowing your brother to move in. That's exciting.
Oh, it's the energy I had. The energy I have in general. I'm a damaged New Yorker. Like I don't trust anybody. I saw him in the kitchen, and it took me literally 25 minutes to get close enough to high five ish. Like, and after I said what's up, my mom was like, "He's actually doing better." Like, I'm not standing right there, or like I'm a damaged human being.
But I really feel like the parents who get to have their kids at this time, it must be kind of special for them, because like, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's nice to be able to spend that time with your family as an adult. Maybe.
Yeah, are you guys bonding?
100%. Yeah, it's crazy. This is the longest I've been home since I was a child. So it's like it's being alongside my parents and seeing what I get from them. Like like my mom's, I get that work ethic from her, you know, and the snoring I get from my pop.
The snoring?
Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah. My man's be chopping wood, bro.
Hey, welcome to my world. Imagine it wasn't your dad, but it was your wife. Think about that, Chris.
Chopping wood.
Natasha she chops teeny little twigs.
Moshe's been making fun of my snoring.
Little cute twigs every night.
No, I'm chopping wood,
well,
but you know.
Too, yo.
Your mom is a snorer as well?
Like, yeah, so it's like no hope for whoever I love. You know what I mean? Like I'm a snoring's in my blood. She snores herself awake and then looks around like, what? I'm like, nigga, you actually.
Wait, in this scenario, Chris, your parents are asleep. Your mom snores herself awake, and you're somehow in the room staring in order to answer her.
Well, see, they sleep anywhere. So we'll be in the family room watching a movie. Like my mom likes to take expensive naps. Like she'll be like, "Yo, let's rent a movie," and I rent a movie on Amazon, and then she falls asleep 3 minutes in, and she wakes up at the end like, "What,
dude?
Like, nigga, your nap cost $13." You know what I mean?
Chris, no disrespect, but I think I might be married to your mom. You're describing Natasha. You're describing every attribute.
No, Moshe
Natasha
wants
has.
to start a 3-hour like crime drama at 11:30, and we have a 2-year-old.
Yo, there is a certain type of movie that you definitely gotta like watch at that time. But my mom's be so geeked, like I don't know what it is. It's like this adrenaline. She's like, let's watch 2 movies, and she'll sit through both of them. And it's like, yo, stop suggesting things you can't do. I don't understand.
No, it's because they're excited that you're there, probably.
Exactly. If I could know that my
100%.
daughter would be with me like when she was like in her 20s, like for a year, like that would be so cool.
And also, Chris, probably the last 2 or 3 years of your life have been the busiest that you've ever had. Would you say that's fair?
Oh, 100%. And before comedy, I was a real dickhead. We didn't get along, but so like now we get along, and I have some sense, and I have a job they believe they can see. So it's definitely a different thing now, but I appreciate it more. You know what I mean? Because you get to have those conversations, no matter how tough they are, and have just like relate about some shit.
Yeah, no, I Natasha and I were just talking recently about like trying to focus on the things about this bizarre time in history that are positive, you know, like connecting deeper with your family.
Like, do you guys eat dinner together?
Yeah, yeah. That's, I mean, we're Southern, so like that's like a ritual. Yeah, that's a ritual. You just gotta sit there, and even if you don't have anything to talk about, you're just smacking in front of each other's faces. Uh,
But if
I
you,
like
yeah,
that.
you eat too much,
yeah,
you end
it's
up
great though.
sawing a little bit of wood later on.
Chopping wood.
Chopping wood. Sorry, I'm trying to keep
You
up.
do.
But
You do.
Chris, speaking of
Yo,
good,
I'm laying a lot of lingo on you, man. A lot of lingo. Right now.
it's all Red family lingo, though. Speaking of positive
Yeah,
things,
it's actually, you can't use it anywhere.
speaking of positive things to come out of all this, you're in the middle of like an incredibly exciting and successful fundraising effort. Before we take our first call, I wanted to see if you could tell us about that and why you even thought about doing it and how successful it's been.
Yo, it's crazy. So it's the COVID-19 Protest Relief Fund. I thought about it because I was on my way here from New York after I spent 3.5 months in the house, and I was like, I gotta get out of here. My brain will break, and I'm on the road, and the protests break out while we're on the road. So we have to reroute a lot of just not to drive around and drive through any cities that might threaten my life. So. I'm feeling bad though because I'm usually a part of the protest, feet on the ground, like in it. And so I was like, damn, I feel bad I'm not in it. So what can I do? Well, there's a lot of people, all those bodies, bro. We're gonna need some kind of relief. That was literally where it came from. And I was like, wait, somebody should do this. And I said that for like 5 days. And then I was like, yo, why don't I just do this? And so I put that number up there, like that a 250 goal. That seemed crazy to me. I didn't think I was gonna hit it, and then
250,000.
Yeah, 1,000. Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's this would be cool just to have something to give, and maybe somebody else with more money will do something bigger, and it be able to help more people. I could just spark a thing, and then it happened, and it's like in the first day we made 100,000. I was like, oh shit, I got to figure out how to give this away. So then I had to it became like a 2.5 week crash course of how to become an activist and organize it. And it was so intense, but so beautiful and dope, and like being able to connect with a bunch of different organizations and leaders that have been doing this work for years. And it's been cool. So now it's just, it's a fund that is able to give some relief to organizations that are already kind of doing this. So it's dope. I'm a fan of it. The logistics, woof. I'm a comic still, so I like writing jokes over all of that shit. But
well, that's what's so inspiring that you actually you saw the opportunity and you're like, I'm just gonna do that. Like, what was that step? You had to go on GoFundMe and fill out a thing.
Yeah. So it's my first GoFundMe, right? So I'm literally like an idiot going to GoFundMe. How do I start a GoFundMe? And then I started it, right? And I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna just put this right here. And I'm gonna just post about it, and we'll see what happens. And then just off posting, it went crazy, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So let me call an organizer to help me. So I have literally so many advisors and people who've been doing this, helping me along. And I was like, look, this is my first GoFundMe. I remember the first call I made was this woman who's been doing this work for 40 years. And she's like, okay, so where are you at right now? And I was like, oh, I'm at 150. She's like, okay, $150 is cool. I was like, oh, no, 150,000. She's like, what? How long have you been doing this? And I was like, a day. It's my first GoFundMe. Help.
But then you have to figure out how to legally get that money to the people who are getting bailed out.
Yeah, right. You have to get the money dispersed. And also, what were all those DMs that you sent me of the new Rolexes that you got? That was a little confusing.
So I love that you snitched on me. See, those were separate things.
Oh, separate
honestly.
Rolexes.
Yeah, it was a separate thing altogether. It has nothing to do with the fund. I just like Rolexes and buying them sporadically.
The timing was strange, is all I'm saying, Chris. No, so what? Yeah,
yeah.
what?
No, I can see how that's. Yeah, I can see how that's true.
Wait, but so what do you do? Do you just give the money then to organizations that are doing direct action essentially, and you kind of step out of the middle?
So I thought I wanted to be a non-for-profit, but then it was like, all right, that process kind of takes too long to get the money to the people, and that was my biggest thing was getting the money directly to who needed it, regardless of if you have insurance or whatever it is. So I was like, all right, so what do I need to be? It's a mutual aid fund. So that's essentially what I created. And what I did was I built a network of different organizers across the nation that would have access to this fund. and so they would be able to vet the people, get them in, and people from anywhere could just go through that organization, sign up, get this money, and we can turn that money around like in a day. So that's what we've been setting up. And I'm like, that's kind of what I was doing with funds all the time. Anyway, I was like, with the Minnesota fund, who I think needs to like, I think they're like in question for like $35 million. But I was like, I want to be able to get the money to people as fast as possible. So that's kind of what I created now. And I had to build a whole board of people to like review stuff. And
that's so crazy.
And I got like it's wild, bro.
No, but you know what's really inspirational about it, Chris, is like that feeling that you were describing. Like, not everybody relates to the idea that you're like on the road, but everybody can kind of relate a little bit to the idea of like seeing these gigantic historical movements happening, and you're stuck at home quarantining, or like not comfortable maybe going out on the line and protesting, or scared of police stuff, or just scared of COVID, period. And like that feeling of like, shit, I wish I could do something, but I don't know what the fuck to do. And then the separation between the idea and the action is like, it's just one little step. And it's like the fact that you took it and used your platform to such success is like super inspirational, man. I'm impressed.
Dude, no, I appreciate that, man. You know, it's also like this fight for what we're fighting for injustice is several different phases, right? And like my dad is high risk, so turning around mid-trip and going back to New York and protesting wasn't an option because I had been tested a bunch of times, and I was like not gonna bring that to my pops. So I was like, what can I do? And so it's kind of, that's where we're at. We're in a stage of innovation and studying and like looking inward and like looking out and seeing what we can do to add and where we can fight. Because some people are immune compromised, so it's like, all right, cool. What can you do then? Like there are other ways to fight this, and we just got to keep that foot on the gas on all different levels. There's going to be people outside fighting, but there's also going to be us fighting over here, over there, you know. And I'm just trying to build another little lane so people can feel like they have something that they can contribute to something without feeling useless if they are in that state of like not knowing what to do.
No, exactly.
That's a popular feeling.
Yeah, and everybody has that feeling, and obviously not everybody's going to be able to raise $250,000 plus, but it's like everybody can do something. You know, I started texting my friends, going like, you know, well, if I didn't want to go out and protest directly, what would I do? And like I would text one guy, and he'd be like, well, I'm stumping for this particular city councilwoman that's in a runoff, and she's super, aggressive about combating homelessness in a progressive way that hasn't been approached before. You could text bank for her, or you could make up some sanitary kits for homeless people and just drop them off in homeless encampments, or you could make some little hand sanitizer for people that are out in protest. So the point is, like, if you're out there and you're not comfortable getting on the front line, like, you don't have to raise $250,000, but you can find a way to get active. And if you don't have money to donate, you don't have to donate. You can find a way to like you say, kind of support.
Free.
What's that?
Petitions are free as hell. I said signing a petition is free as fuck.
Yeah, right.
It's like there's so many things. Yeah, like to your point, there's so many things you can do. Yo, I mean, I had a friend of mine. She was like, I'm gonna make masks for people, and then she started sewing, and she's like, I hate sewing. I'm not gonna do that. but she did start a bunch of petitions, and she gets the word out there, and just figuring out how to like communicate the need, because people just need fucking help understanding, I guess, that people matter, and which is crazy. But it's like that's the conversation we're having right now, and the more people having that conversation, the better.
Well, speaking of that, this is an advice podcast, so we have a few calls that we were going to have people call in. They have some questions.
Yeah, maybe we can make a direct difference in these people's lives, Chris. We don't all have $250,000 to disperse. Let's just disperse some nuggets of wisdom.
Okay, let's call Angie in Chicago.
And Chris, you could be as roasty or as wise as you want when we make these calls. So make fun or give great advice. It's up to you, really. Let's call Angie.
Oh, this is fun. This is fun right here. I like this.
Hello?
I feel like a prank call.
Angie?
Yes, hi, it's me.
Hi, it's Moshe Kasher, Natasha Leggero, and our friend Chris Red on the phone.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. How's Chicago?
It's good. It's warm. It's not cold, so we can't complain.
How's your quarantine? Have they lifted restrictions?
I'm from Chicago. That's why I did that.
Oh, did you guys want to do some Chicago stuff before we get into the call?
No, I did it.
You did it already?
Sorry.
Wait, Chris, are we allowed to do it too, just because she's in Chicago and you're from there?
I'm from Chicago.
Oh, great.
Go ahead.
Let's do it. Hey,
Yeah.
wait, Natasha.
Hey.
Hey.
We did it.
Hey.
Y'all sound like y'all calling a cab, yo. That's crazy.
So, Angie, why'd you contact us? Well, how can we help you?
Okay, so actually, so I'm 27, and I'm still a virgin, and I'm wondering.
Hey, amen. Be blessed.
That's not how I feel about it, but
You're not feeling blessed?
I'm not feeling blessed at all. I'm feeling cursed, actually.
27.
But-
That's not that bad. But.
It's not. You're on the cusp of it being that bad, Angie. It's still.
Exactly. So,
You're in the acceptable scale, but you're really close to the edge.
Okay.
exactly. So I'm trying to beat it.
All right. Okay. Good. Beautiful.
Well, then,
But
fuck.
I'm
I think that's the thing. Anyway, huh?
Oh, sorry. So I was
Well,
wondering.
let's hear the whole thing.
Okay, so I was wondering if I should, maybe just get into a casual relationship and lose it that way, or should I get a more serious relationship, with a boyfriend, and then do it then? Because I find there's sort of a pressure on dating apps to be to kind of state what your deal is, but I don't really know how we'll react if someone just takes off their clothes in front of me, and I'm I don't know what to do. So I'm wondering and it's makes dating kind of stressful and feeling I just can't have fun because I have to kind of explain my deal and what I want. And if I say what my deal is, it might scare people off.
Right. Ooh, this is a good one, Angie. Thank you.
Have you ever watched
No problem.
any porn, Angie?
Yes, I have. And actually, y'all are
What kind of
this.
porn?
Actually, audio porn.
Oh, really?
I did an episode about that.
Wait, audio porn? Like an audio book?
Well, you could get it's you can go on websites and guys are pretending they're with you and they say what they're gonna do or tell you what. Yeah.
You know what, Angie? What's so funny is that you pick the one kind of porn that can't really help you learn what you need to do during the sexual act. It's there's no visual aid at all. You're just well, he says he put it in, but put what in where? Where does it go?
Yeah, sometimes I'm anything more clear.
What's that, Chris?
I said you. It's a bunch of pretending. You need visual aid. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Chris, what do you think, man? What do you think? So, wait, I have a couple questions first before anybody weighs in. Angie, you're not religious, I'm assuming, correct?
Well, technically I am Catholic.
Okay.
But I am more and I am more spiritual though. I still have some clinging to it because of family, but I don't really believe that God cares.
Okay. And so
That's my thinking on it.
When you lose your virginity, is it something that's important to you, that it's a special moment? Do you?
Yes, I see. That's the thing. I wonder if that's the problem. I think maybe it might be because it'll be my first time, and I want it to be with someone that I can trust, and I don't want to do it with a loser. And then I'm a sensitive person. My friend meets a new person, I get jealous. Imagine if I sleep with a guy and I'm well, you don't want to call me back, and
Right.
then I might freak out. So I don't know.
All right. Okay. Okay.
I think you need to stop worrying about what kind of relationship you get in and just how you feel about it. I don't know. I just feel you have to just get in your head that it's okay that you're a virgin. And if you do meet a guy that you like and you think you want to have sex with him, because it's not going to be every guy you go on a date with, then, know, maybe you end up telling him and you can say, I totally understand if that scares you. And if it does, maybe next time you don't say it. I don't know. I mean,
Right.
But I just think you just have to not feel less than because of it and just kind of own your sexuality. And if someone's worth it, then maybe, worth your time and, you're not going to cringe every time you think of your first time, then.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, that's a smart, responsible, dope answer, and I back that up all the way. also a lot of guys suck. So the chances of you hitting a loser is high. But I feel like you definitely know when you get there. Like, you have to put yourself out there in order to like know what you're gonna feel. Always go with your gut, you know. And it's really easy to fuck these days. So I feel like you could easily set it up and put yourself in a situation that you trust and date them and be real. Honestly, people, this is the best time to date because you can be so fucking real with people right now, and it's actually preferred. You'll find somebody out there.
That's
so true. You'll find somebody
Chris.
out there that you can bond with.
That's so true that right now, Angie, you're in this like awesome power position where you can't really meet up with people in person without like really discussing stuff. So everybody that would be scared away by your Scarlet V will be gone by the time you guys even get to meeting up with each other. Everybody you talk to will be over an app for an extended chat. So you'll be able to figure out who's going to be freaked out by that.
And I have a homework assignment for you. Go on to YouPorn for 5 minutes a day. And just check out some of the visuals.
Yeah.
Easy.
Type in porn. Just type in porn in general.
Yeah,
and
porn.
Just watch video.
Yeah, Angie, you're at the level where your porn search word should be porn.
Okay, guys, I've seen actual porn. I prefer not to because sometimes it's just a little bit too much.
I hear you. Well, look, I'm a man of two minds about this, Angie. My one instinct is that what Natasha said is right. Like, here's what I think. Like, sometimes old virgins like yourself, there becomes this thing where like they're regular virgins when they're young, but then it doesn't happen for such a long time that the virginity becomes a bigger topic than your sexuality. It's like your sexuality takes backseat to the fact that every sexual possible encounter is a theoretical loss of your virginity, and it becomes this bigger and bigger kind of monolithic thing, which is why I asked if you were religious, because if you're religious, I say, oh, okay, follow your religious beliefs, don't lose your virginity until you're married or whatever. But since you're not in that situation, my advice would be to like just forget about the fact. I know it's easier said than done, but try to forget about the fact that every person you might fuck is going to be the first person you have fucked and the person who will take your virginity and a memory that you'll have for the rest of your life. Because the reality is all of us kind of cool winners that were, smashing guts when we were like 12 and 13, people like me, kind of cool guys that lost their virginity really young. It was awkward. It's 99% of virginity loss is terrible. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, I cried.
You cried
for no reason.
Yeah, it's like it's never good. And so,
dude, I thought I overthought my shit soft, nigga.
Yeah.
She was like, "What happened?" I was like, "I'm singing a lot. I'm a child."
And it was your first time, Chris, so you didn't know if you were permanently defective. You might be like, "Well, I guess."
Yeah, I was like, "I think my dick broke. I think it's broken. I don't know."
So I like Natasha's advice to just like go easy on yourself, get out there, and combine it with Chris's advice, which is just like you can talk to people and be really open and just say like, "Look, I've never done this before. And so I'm a little nervous about it, but I'm also not that precious about it. So, I'm interested." My other idea is if you want to go buck wild, which I kind of like this idea, find somebody like an older, like hot older guy who's into it. He'll probably be a creep. He'll probably be real creepy, but he'll probably be good. Like that would be, at least if you found someone that was talented at sex, it would at least be a little bit better than just fucking some other awkward person who doesn't know what they're doing. Find some champ out there who's just like the Jose Cuervo guy who'll just like lay you down and pour tequila all over you and just make it a night to remember. And
then after you lose your virginity, you'll realize that sex is more about your body and your feelings than it is about being in your head.
Right.
Chris
also,
still hasn't figured that out.
Don't let your family dictate it for you, because your family's not going to be there when you have sex. They shouldn't be.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, they're not.
Okay, well, I think we helped you.
Yeah, well, Angie, wait, what are you going to do?
I don't know. So I guess from what I hear, I just meet a guy, just act normally, don't mention it.
Well, definitely.
Don't mention it at some point.
Don't mention it until you're kissing.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, another note. I haven't kissed before.
Angie. Angie, you're burying the lead here.
I'm sorry.
Okay, wait, like, okay, whoa, what?
I take back a lot of my advice. I think we need to start at basics.
I think you need to just have a frosty
so-
with a man, maybe.
What?
Have a social
There's this thing
distance
called a
frosty.
dating
yeah,
app,
root
right?
beer float or something like that.
Probably.
I mean, here's the thing. You're very inexperienced. You're 27. You just have to get out there and date. Put yourself out there. If you're not afraid of internet dating, just start going. Don't worry about like how it's all going to go down. Just put yourself out there as someone who wants to meet someone because that's what you want.
Why do you think you've never kissed anybody?
Well, okay. So I have when I did like a play, and it was a
Okay.
gay guy.
Okay. I don't
But
think-
and then you know, I guess once when I was a kid, we played house and I kissed him, but that was it. That doesn't really count. But I think I'm just very
Did you
careful and like.
grow up in a bomb
Not-
shelter?
No.
they only let you out for
You
plays?
should, I feel like you would love role playing. I feel like you should just role play. You should dress up as a superhero and go outside and live a full ass life. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
That's true because you
Because I
are.
feel like you like to be in a role to like differentiate yourself. So dress up as like Superwoman and go outside and be like, "Hey, you with the dick over there, come here,
Get
you
over
know?
here.
and then
I,
and break it down."
yeah, you
I
know.
can play a hoe.
Yeah, well, you probably aren't going to be able to play a hoe. I think the saying
Yeah,
is
no,
you
you're not
can't.
gonna be that good yet.
I think the saying is, do you ever heard the old saying, you can't turn a housewife into a hoe? I think I mean, I'm starting to think, 27, you've never kissed. I'm starting to think, guys, tell me if you think I'm out of line here. I'm starting to think that you should maybe go onto like a casual, like a fetish website, like a FetLife type of situation, and find someone and just say like, I want to get this out of the way. I'm a virgin, I really am, and I want to do this. I'm starting to think casual is maybe the secret for you, because at 27 with no kissing, it's starting to feel like there's some kind of barrier that you've built between you and your sexuality.
And can I just make one quick point? Don't tell the guys you've never kissed before.
Oh yeah,
Oh
definitely.
yeah,
Because
I've never.
You
never
have.
done that yet.
So just, you're not
Yeah.
lying.
Oh right,
You
yeah.
kiss
Also
some.
pick the weirdest one. Also pick the guy that like dresses like a dog, so that even if it's bad, you're like, fuck that guy. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Oh, that's
for
a-
you. This is for you.
Oh, that's a great idea, Chris. You're saying find the weirdest dude so that you can be like, actually, he's the pathetic motherfucker here. I'm not. I'm the alpha around here.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. You find you a loser, and you get right, girl.
I think so. Casual. Hey, what was the play that you kissed someone in?
So it was like a weird, like improvised production where like, I played this guy's mom.
Oh my
and he was
God.
like, it was like an Oedipus complex.
Oh
thing.
no! The only time you ever kissed somebody was in an improv scene.
Where she was the person's mom.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, Angie.
That's the saddest. Hey.
Hey, I'm crying.
Okay, no, don't cry, Angie. Angie,
No, I'm not
will you tell
crying.
us? Will you tell us when and if you lose your virginity? By the way, when I give you this advice to find somebody casual, make sure that you're safe. There are dangerous people out there. Meet the person for coffee first. Vet them. Make sure that they're a safe human being.
But you owe nobody an explanation that you're a virgin before you're like intimate with them.
Right, and if you've never kissed anybody, the odds are they'll figure it out without you even telling them. They'll be like,
Okay.
Okay, good luck, honey.
"Good luck, Angie."
Thank you so much, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Yo,
She kind of dropped the bomb on
That
us.
was crazy.
I mean, how are you gonna bury the lead? It was like, I was picturing her giving blowjobs in cars for the last decade, and then she's like, "No, I've never even kissed a man." Wow, that was a wild one.
Well, sometimes people have circumstances where they're not socialized in that way, I guess.
Totally,
or-
that's true. Wow, that's crazy. How old were you, Natasha?
Oh, I was trying to have sex at like 14,
Right. What about you, Chris?
15.
Man, I was on top of girls when I was 12, consensually.
Why you gotta say it like that?
I didn't know what I was doing.
Why you gotta say it like that?
I said it the weirdest way I could possibly say it. I've been on top of girls since I was 12. Like, what does that mean? That's what it's like.
That was so weird though. She seemed so charming, didn't she? She was like nice, and she had a gregarious personality.
Yeah.
How? Angie, call us back when you lose your virginity.
Well, I think what happens is when you start reaching college age, like 23, and it doesn't happen, then the years just start adding up.
Yeah, right.
Like fast.
That's right.
Especially if you're like studying or focusing on, whatever.
And like I said, the non-experience becomes a bigger factor than your actual sexuality. So every encounter with a man is like, it's exactly what you're talking about, Chris. When you overthink it and you lose you lose your erection, it's the same process. It's like you lose your sexual mental erection when you're in that phase. You go like, I can't flirt with this dude because what if he's going to be the one that is going to figure out that I'm such an idiot that I've never even kissed somebody? The whole thing becomes like this mess. Oof.
Yeah, exactly. And you're holding yourself back. It's like, bro, you get out of your own way because she sounds like she ready to do a lot of shit out here in these streets. And she just needs to let that shit fly.
Out here in these
let it fly.
Out here in these improv scene streets.
Oh my God. The worst. That's why she ain't kissed a guy, because she kissed the improviser, and she's like, ew.
Should we do another call?
No and.
Yeah.
No and.
That's funny, Chris, because I always say that like improvisers and stand-ups are different because improvisers always say yes and stand-up comics always say no and.
Oh, that's interesting.
I feel like we're just like more negative by nature.
Yeah.
And more real.
I like that.
That's dope.
We're going to call a guy named Guy in Tel Aviv, Israel.
Holy shit. Let's go.
Now I get to say, hey.
Hello?
Hello, Guy.
כן.
גיא, מה שלומך? זה משה. זה משה כשר
Stop it.
ונטשה לג'רו וחבר שלנו קריס רד מסאטרדי נייט לייב.
What's up, man?
What time is it in Tel Aviv?
It's 8 right now, 8:10.
8:10 in the morning. Oh wow, up at the crack. Guy,
what are you doing in the morning? Why are you up so early, fam? What's going on out there?
You'll have to speak up. I'm wearing a towel.
Tell us about what's going on in Israel right now.
Yeah, what's the quarantine situation like in Israel?
We've been out of quarantine for a good amount of time now, and they're kind of flipping because the schools keep having outbreaks, especially in the religious areas.
The schools, like for kids?
Yeah.
No.
So they keep trying to go back to normal, and then they'll have a little outbreak with some middle school kids, and
so kids are getting it in Israel. I haven't heard that.
Well, I mean,
no, not the kids aren't really getting it, but the schools are causing outbreaks.
Crazy. And what are you American? Yeah. Guy, are you American? What are you doing in Israel?
Yeah. I spent most of my life in the States, and then moved here just under 2 years ago.
Okay. So tell us, why did you contact us? How can we help you?
So the general idea is I'm dating a few people, and I wanted some advice as far as when someone says they want space, or let's say you just had a date or they just slept over, how long you should wait before messaging them again, or feeling out if they want to continue speaking.
Wait. Are you dating them, or are you in conversation with them?
Dating, if you hooked up or slept with them, what's the next move?
Okay, so if you, do they know about each other or no?
Yeah, I mean, so usually they'll say something like, "Oh, I don't want to hear details," but I'm always open if I'm dating a few people, just so they're aware.
So they're like, I don't want to hear details, and you're like, I'm gonna just be open though, so just so you're aware. Here are a few details.
Yeah, you gotta be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
So okay, if you're dating and y'all are clear what's going on, then you hit them up when you hit them up. You hit anybody up that you're talking to, right? Like there shouldn't be a game in which you have to guess when you're gonna hit somebody up. Also, if you're dating a few people, there should be a natural gap of like when you talk to somebody because it's a few people, right? How do you juggle? Do you just throw all the balls up at once and just let it fall on you? I don't.
Like so far, it hasn't been so much of an issue to juggle. People are super busy. Like one of them's a lawyer and works till like midnight, 1 a.m.
All right,
days,
guy.
so.
All right, stop bragging. Stop bragging. We got it. They're high class. Wait, so I don't.
It sounds like Guy's kind of getting blown off a little bit, and he's like wondering if he should keep.
That's a part of it for sure.
So you're basically going out with a couple of. It complicates matters because you have so many guys, so very very many. But it's that
What's the actual number?
Yeah. What is the number?
No. It changes. Like right now, I'm probably seeing 3 people, but it changes. Sometimes there's none. Sometimes there's 1 or 2.
And how often are you getting
I keep options.
How often are you getting the "I just need a little space" question?
Usually after we sleep with each other.
Okay, let's get into that.
Oh, so the sex is whack. So that's the issue here.
So that happens to you a lot, Guy?
It's usually like if I go out with someone, then they don't want you messaging like that evening, or the next day. Like, so like I know I have to keep some kind of like cushion, some kind of barrier, like. But I'm very long-winded, so I just tend to want to message someone like right away, and like say, "Oh, it was a good date," something stupid.
See, I'm kind of like into what Chris was saying, which is that anytime you're trying to like, do we lose him? Chris, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Damn it!
We lost
Did we
Guy.
lose him?
Yeah, we'll get him again. Although he scares me a little.
That man back.
I'll be honest, he frightens me slightly.
That guy.
Holy
shit.
Guy. Okay, there you are.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
yeah.
so what I was asking was, you're going out with all these girls. Oh, I'm sorry. That's what I was saying. I like what Chris was saying, which is that you should never be trying to figure out some kind of like system. Like dating is not a system. It's human beings connecting and talking to each other. Like I hate that idea. Like, is it 48 hours? Am I a simp if I'm in the 36 hour zone? Then she's gonna think I'm a sucker. It's just
that's what the rules are all about.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Yeah, the rules and then also the game. So the rules for women, the game for men.
You can never accept a Friday dinner invitation on Thursday. It has to be like before Wednesday.
Right. It's so
that shit is
dumb.
so corny.
It's so corny. And it's for people that don't have game, who don't know how to interact with the opposite sex, so they want like they want someone. It's a lot like religion. It's like don't know how to interact with the world, so you want something external to tell you, oh, here's how you do it. But my experience is that, tell me, Natasha, if you agree, most women would like a follow-up the next day after sex. Just a small follow-up. Hey, that was nice.
Yeah.
Let's hang out again sometime.
Yes, you're correct.
Guy, is that what you do? Or do you go, I think I fell in love with you last night. I'm sorry about the premature ejaculation.
I definitely not anything extreme like either of those things. But yeah, like I might message them the same night. And I guess you gotta wait until the next day, it seems.
Do they never spend the night?
No, it depends. Really, it depends on the situation.
Is there one that you want to...
Guy,
yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Guy, you said that you're long-winded. When you message them, how many words are involved in this message?
How much wind? How much wind?
How much wind are we talking? Are we talking a tornado? Are we talking...
Yeah, it can be. It can be, especially if we were talking about something heated. If we talked about something that I can rant about, then yeah.
So wait a minute. Okay, I'm confused. You guys will go out. You're in Israel, so you'll go out. You'll spend the evening arguing about Israeli-Palestinian politics. You'll fuck, and then the next day you'll finish your argument via text. Is that something like that?
Yeah, it can be like that. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I think, you know what I think, Guy, listening to you, I'm a little confused by you, I'll be honest. But I think maybe you, I don't usually advise people like this, but maybe you should try dating less people. Try,
I think that's a good idea.
yeah, like try forging connections with people before you hook up with them. You're distracted by like multitudes of people and then keeping track of your communication with them and then seeing if they like you because you like to really communicate with people. Maybe it would be better for you for a while to be like, let me find somebody I'm actually interested in.
Who we have a connection with, who doesn't make me feel self-conscious every time I text them.
Right.
You know, nice sex or whatever you say.
Nice sex.
Yeah, you sound like a guy who starts a fist fight with one person and then starts another fist fight with 3 more people and wonders why they can't win any fight. It's like, dude, fight one person. You don't even know how good you are yet. Fight one person. Figure it out.
That's a great analogy, Chris. It's like, yeah, it sounds so scattershot that you don't even know if it's the sex or if it's your personality or if it's the argument or it's how long your text is.
I know it's not the sex.
Okay, guy. Okay, guy.
Oh, Guy, that's what all guys say. Guy, your name is Guy. Your parents just named you after the first thing they saw when they saw you. That's crazy.
No, okay, so fine. You're the fuck champ of Tel Aviv, but you don't.
Fuck machine.
Yeah, but like I mean, I think that's my advice. Are you adverse to the idea of like slowing down a little bit and trying to find a connection with? I'm not saying find a wife or even a girlfriend.
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah,
no, definitely not. I feel like sometimes you know that thing happens where like when the grass is always greener on the other side. Like when you want someone more, then they go away, and then we're kind of like less into them, and they're more into you. So like.
Sure.
You know, it's like,
and that's
when I'm into someone, I want to message them, and then I realize like, oh, I can't because it's pushing them away if I do that.
Well, let me tell you, my feeling is that when you're in a relationship with someone who you don't trust and you don't really know, and by the way, I mean, there's nobody that was more Guy than Moshe back in the day. I was constantly dating 5 people at a time and constantly having like very superficial relationships, right? But when you're in,
I've been that dude too.
Yeah. And when you're in those kinds of relationships, you're always like, I don't really even know this person that I'm fucking. So yeah, like if you like that kind of thing, if your only goal is to get laid, then I would say continue the way it is. But it sounds like you're feeling slightly self-conscious. So for a person that wants to know whether or not they can communicate with someone, it's very easy to figure out the rules of communication when you have a connection with that person. Because you like them and they like you, it's very natural and easy. When you're in a relationship with 4 different women, none of whom you like you, or you don't know if they like you and you don't know if you like them back, then of course you're going to be like, what do I do? How do I talk to this person? I think slow down. Try one woman, see if you like them, then sleep with them after you figure out you guys have a mutual connection. Then everything will flow. Like the Jordan River.
Yeah. Oh, nice one. Also, you could be just a bad debater too. So.
That's true. You might be a little full on.
But it's probably more.
All right,
well,
is that? Do you have more questions?
Natasha, even Natasha doesn't want to talk to you.
No, I was just gonna say, you know, with one of them, I think she wanted to have sex, and then I like put it off for that exact reason. I was like, you know, we should wait, we should figure things out. You know, the next day she's super intimate, like acting like a girlfriend, and then that evening I messaged her, and it was like, no, I need some space. You know, even though the same morning, like she was super intimate and touchy, and you know, cooking with me and.
Right. So
whatnot.
I would say this. How old are you, by the way, Guy?
28.
My experience with dating is that it's messy because you're trying to meld 2 different personalities into like a third thing, which is a relationship. And it's like, it doesn't work in a clean way. That's why I always think these ideas of rules are so stupid, because there's no system when you can conquer all of the people you're going to encounter psychologically. The system doesn't work. It breaks down when you meet people that don't follow the rules they're supposed to in this system. So it's like, So yeah, you had an example of when you tried to do it quote unquote the right way and it backfired and she wanted space, but that's going to happen 10,000 times until it doesn't happen. And then that'll be the person with whom it'll be very easy to communicate, because you seem like this stuff is affecting you. Like I said, if you were just a player and you're like, I don't give a fuck if they want space, I wanted space too, that would be one thing. But it sounds like you're a little bit, it's affecting you. And so that's why I think, like, just slow it all down. Slow everything down. Stop judging yourself. Stop judging the person, and just experience what's happening. Don't try to game theory what will happen.
All right, we have to go.
Natasha wants to
Okay.
go.
Moshe, I'd love to hear Hound Tall with people talking about conspiracy theories of the year.
Okay.
I just want to say I love you all.
I love you too. I like that you're shouting out old podcasts of mine too. I love that.
What's your favorite conspiracy theory, really quick?
Oh my God, the whole microchipping thing drives me crazy as a programmer. I just don't understand how it makes sense to anyone.
The Bill Gates thing? Like the vaccine microchipping?
Yeah,
Right.
because autism wasn't a good enough lie, so they went with microchipping now.
Microchipping through a vaccine. It does seem pretty difficult to be able to pull that off. What is the idea that they?
Yeah, like a microchip moving through your blood forever doesn't make any sense to me either.
And the idea is they want to
Yeah, they spend a lot of money on that.
Well, the other funny idea,
they want to be able to know who's sick.
And they also want to be able to just track everything. All these people are like, I'm not going to let Bill Gates track all of my viewing and spending habits. It's like, bitch, you got an iPhone. They're already doing that. They already got it.
Exactly.
Well, all right. I will consider what yours. If I bring Houndtall back, I will consider it. I appreciate you contacting us, Guy. Go have a lovely day in the sun in Tel Aviv. Go surf the Mediterranean for me.
Yeah, for sure.
With one girl.
With one girl. One girl, one board, one guy.
Good policy.
All right. Thanks for
All right.
calling.
I love
Bye-bye.
you all. JoJo 2020.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Speak with all later.
Okay.
Bye.
JoJo 2020, that's what we're saying?
I don't know.
Did he say
What is JoJo?
That was a lot. That was
Wait.
a lot of sign.
Joe Biden?
JoJo. Oh, I think it is Joe Biden.
JoJo 2020?
I think he meant Joe Biden 2020.
I like it.
Interesting. JoJo?
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, JoJo. I'm like, wow, he knows him personally. Like, is he like a nephew? I don't understand.
Is that his nickname?
I mean, unfortunately, JoJo 2020 is our only hope.
I know, and it's not.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
true.
much. Chris.
Chris, you're so good at advice. I feel like your parents taught you well. And,
Yeah, they taught you to snore, and they taught you wisdom.
and I'm so glad you get to be
Yeah.
with them.
Dude, this was so much fun. You guys do this all the time. I want to come back and do this.
Oh, we'll have you
This is
back.
So great.
We'll have you back, Chris. I honestly, I not to make things serious because you were so funny, but I honestly I am truly inspired and much respect for having an idea. So many people in the world have an idea of how to help and then just don't.
That moment where you skip from the idea, and then I'm always like, oh yeah, I should do that,
and then you flip on your PlayStation 4 and you're a month later and you're like, oh, I had an idea.
What is that called? What is that thing?
An inflection point, maybe, is what they call it. But anyway,
we should ask him. He has it.
Yeah, Chris, what is it?
I've just got the realization point, like the realization moment where you just like, oh, just take it upon yourself, but you have to have that clarity, right? And taking a step, like stop talking yourself out of why you can't, and just fucking try. Most of the time you can, and it's such a simple thing, but we do it all the time. I've done it to myself with this idea alone, and many others. It's learning to just kind of get out your own way. Figure something out.
I would have given up at the first thing I had to print out.
She would have gone to the GoFundMe site and been like, no, actually, this is too much. Well, what do they say?
I can't think of a logo. Fuck this.
What do they say? Actually, in the, I think it's from the Talmud, or a famous rabbi said, if not now, when? If not me, who?
Right.
So I think
right.
Respect, honestly, for doing that, and it's kind of inspirational. I'm gonna go figure out something that I can do.
Oh, thanks, man. Yes, I mean, this a lot of bullshit's gonna happen for a long time. So there's gonna be many ways to innovate.
Yeah. There'll be plenty of things to look at and go, that's fucked up for a long, long time.
Yeah. Honestly, I think if everybody would start there, we could be good.
Yeah, that's so true.
In the next few years.
If everybody had an inspiration point and listened to it, probably the world would change. So anyway, thank you for doing that, Chris, and thanks for coming on the show. I miss seeing you around, and you're the best.
Congrats on the House Hunters
Hey,
episode.
man.
That was so funny.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, thank you so much. That House Hunters episode was so fun. And people were like, hey, I test drive bathtubs. And I'm like, all right, white people. We don't do that. That's not the thing we do. Thank y'all so much for having me, man. I love both of y'all. Y'all are fucking beast comics and just a dope-ass couple. And I don't say that about a lot of comic couples because
thank you.
You know why.
Well, tell me the ones that you dislike the most. No, we'll do that next time you come on the show. Chris, thank you again, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye, Chris.
Well, Tosh, that was a sweet call, a sweet little situation we had. Chris is an inspiration. You're an inspiration. I'm feeling really good. I'm glad I have this podcast. I'm glad we called Israel. I'm glad we called Angie. You know what I'm feeling right now?
Huh.
A lot of love.
Great.
Specifically?
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.